Zero-knowledge proof problem in cryptography is a problem to prove given statement to be true without revealing any information about the statement. The description of this problem may sound bizarre at first, but it could be used at many circumstances. For instance, if one day you declare that you have invented a new technology which attracts enormous investment. However, after 2 years of development, you found out that the market was not ready for such invention, and you were accused of wasting investors' money. Would you reveal your technology and get copied by competitors, or insisting on keeping it as secret and get sued by investors? It is only possible to get away from this dilemma if there exists a method to prove that such technology has its potential and without revealing the development details of this technology to public. This is a typical scenario when the zero-knowledge proof comes into play. By its name, it is simply knowing nothing about a statement, but still believing it to be true. The notion of zero-knowledge proof was first proposed in 1985 on a paper called Knowledge Complexity of Interactive Proof Systems, and it is getting more attention nowadays as people's concerns for data privacy rises. Your personal data like your contact information, your preferences for movies, or even your behavior patterns are very valuable. While a lot of companies are trying to collect such information so that they can micro-target ads or recommendations to make more profit. However, we don't always have a choice. On the basis of increasing demand for protecting our information, cryptographic engineers and developers have put tremendous effort to make this possible. Zero-knowledge proof must satisfy the following 3 properties. One is completeness. That is, if a statement is true and the protocol followed by the prover and the verifier is true, the verifier will accept the proof. Second is soundness. That is, if the statement is false, even though the verifier follows the protocol, the verifier will not be convinced by the proof. The third is zero knowledge, and this is the essential one. That is, the prover follows the protocol and the statement is true, the verifier will be convinced that the prover's proof is right, without learning any information through interactions.
Here is a very simple experiment to better understand zero-knowledge proof. Imagine you have to convince a colorblind person that the color of 2 balls on his hands are different. He does not have to know which color is which, just whether or not the color is different. One way of achieving this is to tell him to put his hands behind his back and switch balls or not. The person then presents 2 balls again afterwards, and you can easily tell if he switches or not because you can tell the different color. However, he still finds it hard to believe, because you can guess the answer with a probability of 0.5 of getting it correct, which is a pretty good chance. He can choose to repeat this operation until he believes you, and the probability of guessing decreases exponentially to almost to 0 as the number of operations increases. From this experiment, we can see it satisfies the above 3 properties, as 1, the person will be convinced colors of balls are different. 2, you can tell the difference each time as the probability of random guess approaches to 0 as number of guesses increases. And 3, the person still doesn't know which color is which, but he is convinced 2 balls are different color. This is a simple yet effective demonstration of a zero-knowledge proof, and it is also called an interactive zero-knowledge proof, as provers and verifiers interact with one another to establish the validity of a statement. Another interesting thing to be noted in this example is that, like many other powerful hash algorithms, zero-knowledge proof does not give you 100% confidence of validity of proof. It is only minimizing the probability that someone is lying to you. As we conducted the experiment earlier, we realized it requires the interaction between 2 parties, which is inefficient if we repeat the same process to someone else or at large scale. Another type called non-interactive zero-knowledge proof, which the verification between the prover and verifier can be simulated themselves. That is, the prover can create proof that anyone can verify, and the verification process can be moved to a later stage. The application of blockchain enhances trust, security, and transparency of a network of data. However, due to its design mechanism, it would be impractical to have all nodes interact with one another to verify one single transaction. Therefore, we must use non-interactive zero-knowledge proof for applications like blockchain for efficiency.
In 2012, the idea of ZK snarks was proposed. The acronym stands for Zero Knowledge Succinct Non-Interactive Argument of Knowledge, which refers to a proof construction where one can prove possession of certain information. This idea was adopted with the widespread application of a cryptocurrency forked from original Bitcoin codebase, called Zcash. Traditional projects like Bitcoin make every transaction public to everyone. In Zcash, however, hides all this sensitive information. Zcash achieved this by adding a shielded address to preserve privacy, while still having a transparent address, which operates similarly to Bitcoin. As pointed out by the founder of Ethereum, ZK snarks will be permitting the mainstream world, as it would not only protect privacy of our data, but also increase efficiency in scaling the blockchain network. Other than privacy, zero knowledge can also be used to solve scalability problems in blockchain, as proof of work has to be done by all the nodes to preserve the network. It has become increasingly difficult for nodes to maintain blockchain, as the number of ledgers that contain all transaction information increases. One of the solutions to this is called zero-knowledge rollup, that processes thousands of transactions in a batch, and only posts a minimal summary of data to the mainnet, yet preserving the validity of all processed transactions. Depending on the network size and the number of blocks or nodes involved in a blockchain, the back-and-forth communications involved to attain a consensus can consume a considerable amount of time and resources. The result of this is blockchain has a very low throughput. For example, Bitcoin processes around 4.6 transactions per second, while Visa does around 1,700 transactions per second on average based on the official claim of over 150 million transactions per day. Hence, can be shown that blockchain is currently bottlenecked by scalability. Theoretically, applying ZK rollup would reduce the lot of loads for all nodes on the network to maintain the entire blockchain, which further enhances overall throughput and improves user experiences. While all these features sound very promising, the future of zero-knowledge proof faces many challenges. It's not perfect, as it cannot guarantee 100% security, and it also requires a lot of computational power. For instance, as people are developing more powerful devices like quantum computers, it will be a challenge for cryptographic engineers to design more robust algorithms. Nonetheless, it will still be better than not having our data secured from big companies.